Well, I figure it's time for an early Christmas present. I can give you guys a bit of a demonstration of the new Tron suit. I've got most of the electronics ready to go. It's just been a lot of library building, a lot of the behind-the-scenes work that's really boring and that really you don't see any improvement. But right now, the CPU, it's running all the code, it's running all the libraries, it's powering the helmet, it's powering the HUD screen, which you probably can't see, but that's mirroring that helmet. I've got the wireless radios, the Bluetooth, the XB mesh radio, all the crazy fun stuff, and I've got the gloves pretty much assembled. This glove, I have the actual sensor points sewn on. They're just buttons. Buttons work really well because you can solder to them, and you can also sew with conductive thread onto them. And the basic way that I'm doing this is that the buttons are all behind the second joint here. You can see they're pretty far down. Usually I try to put them as close as I can comfortably reach. And then the thumb has a button that's out of the way, and then conductive thread comes up to the top and crisscrosses. Now that way what I can do is I can touch any of these pads, so I have 4 different inputs, and then I also retain full tip sensitivity, so I can type, I can do whatever I need to, I can use door handles, it's not a big deal. And actually I've worn these while programming for hours, and it just doesn't, you just get used to it. The only problem I've ever noticed is that because they're conductive, you have to be a little careful in picking up an aluminum soda can. But so now, the way this works is I can just put my hands anywhere, and when right now, if I click the first one, it'll center the inputs. You can see on the helmet now it's centered. Now this probably won't be the final display, but this is really good for troubleshooting. Eventually I plan on having swipe to unlock, kind of like a phone. That'll probably be my pinky because that's the hardest to reach. And then once I unlock it, it'll bring up a menu. The menu is internal to the HUD. I will also show some stylized things on the display, but there's a lot of options. This is just kind of a test. So once this is on and centered, I can then move them around. And the way this works is you can imagine my hands being in a square box, and so if I pinch and move my hand out of that box, it triggers a direction. So you can't really see the computer screen right now, but that's up, down, left, right, and each glove can do the same thing and navigate the menus. They can affect each other in slightly different ways, but they can mostly do the same thing. So I can be going right, 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 right. This glove doesn't have any buttons sewn onto it yet. So what I also have is I've got, because I don't have a menu or anything, everything's just kind of hardwired, or I've just kind of we've got the code set up so certain buttons do certain things. I can turn the cameras on, because I don't know if you noticed, but I've got a color sensor camera in the palm of each glove. So if I turn that on, the top of the glove lights up and shows me a sample. Now, the way it'll probably work is the color will just show up on the glove until I select it. Then it will probably float my arm and change it in that way. It's not going to be, right now it just instantly, shows it up there and shows it everywhere all at the same time. But that's easy to change later. This is just a great way for testing. And so, I can put it on here, and you can see as I slide my hand, it changes. And this color sensor that I got now works so much better than the last one. It's calibrated better from the factory. It's a I2C device, so I don't have to do everything by hand. And I've also, one of the big things that helped a lot was I got the gamma tables set up right for the LEDs. So everything actually looks good now, and I don't have to spend piles of time trying to calibrate a sensor. And what I can also do even is I can run the sensor without having the light on. So if I hit this, right now I've just got a rainbow up on this screen, I can just move my hand around, and it perfectly mirrors all of these colors, and that was without any extra work. And because it's in my hand, it makes it really easy for me to, find the sweet spot on difficult shapes. Like this, soda cans are always a pain because they're partially reflective, but you get the idea, and I'm really pleased with how this is working out. There's a few little bugs with the motion that I need to get fixed, but for the most part, it's usable. Right now, and that's good, to have done at this, this early in the game. But I'll try to get another update done when I get the other glove sewn together. I'm still trying to figure out the exact optimal placement for all the buttons and stuff. Later!